Dear participants, I am very pleased to join you in this panel. In the aftermath of COVID-19, ambitious decisions and action in the fight against climate change, pollution and the loss of biodiversity are more than ever a priority. The European Union and its member states are doing their part. As the presidency of the Council of the European Union, Portugal was pleased to lead the negotiation and to reach a political agreement on the European climate law. This law is a regulation that sets binding targets for all member states. This is the cornerstone of a legal framework that we will continue to build with a view to implement the European Green Deal. The European Green Deal is the roadmap towards a circular and climate-neutral economy that is resilient, competitive and safe, where economic growth is decoupled from resource use and which takes into consideration the different starting points and specificities of the member states. This process is not going to be easy. High levels of ambition imply a set of demanding challenges, namely the need to demonstrate that the transition will be fair, leaving no one behind. That's why the Portuguese presidency paid attention to the social pillar of the transition, and the Prime Minister, António Costa, hosted an European Union Social Summit in Porto on May, in which the European social partners, the European Parliament and European Commission signed the Porto Social Commitment. Leaving no one behind also means adopting tailor-made measures to promote gender equality. Gender equality is a key element to achieve sustainable development. International free trade and investment are drivers of growth, employment and wealth worldwide. The post-COVID reality has shown the need for a trade policy that is adequate to new reality. The revision of our trade policy in Europe is based on the deep connection between trade and other related areas such as industrial policy, sustainable development and digital transition. Openness of markets remains the basis of European approach, but it should encompass elements of these and other policies. Environmental sustainability is a top priority and the core objective of the European Green Deal that the revised trade policy will follow. Sustainable development is a core issue in EU's trade policy and EU's trade agreements. All new generation free trade agreements include a chapter on sustainable development. This chapter includes environment and social elements and is key to foster high standards in trade, including circular economy. It is rewarding to register a growing commitment from our trade partners regarding this approach, whether concerning labor laws or environment. Although many countries have committed or are considering achieving a long-term objective of carbon neutrality, differences in climate ambition in short and medium terms are still significant. To tackle this and other challenges, the European Commission will present on July the first part of the Fit for 55 package to the Council and European Parliament's negotiation and decision. This package includes a proposal to enable the implementation of a carbon border adjustment mechanism at European level by 2023. And let me refer to this carbon border adjustment mechanism. The World Trade Organization is one of the main fora where the EU is called to strive for a stronger interlinkage between trade policy and sustainable development. To be fair and legitimate, the carbon border adjustment mechanism will need to be designed in full compliance with the rules of the WTO and consistent with the multilateral climate framework and global development issues. To be effective, the implementation of the carbon border adjustment mechanism will need to be carried out in an inclusive and transparent manner, and we will remain alert to the impact it may have on our trade partners, aiming at reaching the best possible alignment. As an example of our efforts to achieve a green economy, Portugal hosted in Lisbon last April the high-level EU-Africa Green Investment Forum. It was an unprecedented exercise of true dialogue and engagement between Europe and Africa on climate change, the green transition, and our quest for greener and more sustainable investment and development. We got one clear message. Africans are concerned with climate change as we are in Europe, and rightly so. The 4 countries worst affected by climate change are in the African continent. So we all share the urgent need to adapt our societies, our economies, our business to the impending consequences of climate change. Financing global action is both crucial and instrumental to support developing countries, especially the most vulnerable, to increase global ambition in the implementation of the Paris Agreement and to ensure the transition to climate neutral and resilient economies. Recently, the European Union underlined the relevance of mobilizing both the public and private sectors and targeting investments where the needs are greatest, notably the least developed countries and countries in situation of fragility or affected by conflict, as well as in other regions severely affected by the COVID pandemic. It is not possible to address climate change and inclusive recovery without highlighting the nexus between climate and oceans and the high potential of the blue economy. And that is my final point. The ocean absorbs more than 90% of excess atmospheric heat. It is an important carbon sink, and simultaneously, ocean is a source of emissions through the ocean-based economic sectors. Portugal and Kenya are organizing the second United Nations Ocean Conference in June 2022, which will be held in Lisbon. We expect it to be a truly impactful and action-oriented event, and with a strong political compromise towards the conservation and sustainable use of the ocean. To conclude, let me stress that a better coherence between policies is of paramount importance to achieve sustainable and development goals and relieve civil society concerns. In this sense, closer cooperation between international organizations such as WTO, UNCTAD, OECD and others, many others, is key to improve our contribution towards a green and inclusive recovery including in trade context. Thank you very much.